All-time highs. Congrats, Bulls. We've made it over 20,000. A lot of headlines, a lot of hype, a lot of euphoria. So we always want to be cautious when that's the case. But the Bulls have complete control. We let price action be our guides. The weekly bull flag was the most likely scenario because the bears were just not proving it to us. I would say the most convincing action for me was over the weekend. The fact that over the weekend we saw a 10% bounce was extremely convincing for me personally. So a lot of people were looking at a lot of different reasons why we may pull back for a couple months. And again, it's always nice to be looking in that direction and be aware of things, but price action is always number one. Everything else is secondary to what the price is doing. So the price is going up. Break of 20,000, convincing follow through. We saw a nice 4% of follow through. Obviously the spike in volume. And most importantly, look at the space we have now. Anything above 17,580 is a daily high or low, which means we can pull back over 10% and still be in that uptrend. So let's zoom in. Well, first off, targets. I don't predict or set targets. I just use price action. As long as we're in a daily uptrend, this move is going to keep going. As long as we're in a weekly uptrend, this bigger picture move is going to keep going. When we lose the weekly high or lows, it'll be a significant shift in the market environment, and we will take significant note of that, and we'll look for monthly consolidation. So could we hit 25,000, 45,000, 65,000? Absolutely. I don't know what number it's going to be. If I were to give you a number and draw lines and use fib retracements, I would just be yanking your chain, giving any kind of misleading information that I have any idea more than any of you all, is what it boils down to. So just watching the uptrends. So now we play the zoom out game. 15-minute time frame is consolidating. We just changed the 15-minute trend bearish. We're watching for first 5-minute oversold conditions. I hope it doesn't get hit right now because I am recording and I want to play that bounce. It's probably going to happen. Too late to go back now. So first 5-minute oversold conditions, we're going to anticipate a bounce. Why? Everybody's watching for it. Back burner trade. And we're just looking for an hourly high or low with a lot of space for it to form. When we lose the hourly uptrend, we zoom out and we look for a 4-hour high or low. This 4-hour EMA 12 allowed me yesterday to make a Twitter post and say, get ready, a break is coming within 24 hours. We're either going to see new all-time highs or a loss of this 4-hour EMA 12 support leading to daily consolidation. We didn't lose the EMA 12. There's your all-time high. So this is my midterm guide over the next few days. If this level is holding, bulls have complete control as far as I'm concerned. When we lose a 4-hour, we zoom out and look for a daily high or low. When we lose the daily uptrend, we zoom out and look for a weekly high or low. So the bulls have a lot of time frames in their favor. And keep an eye out for first 5-minute oversold conditions and first hourly oversold conditions. And keep an eye out for that 4-hour EMA 12 support. No red flags on the consolidation at this point. And nice to see follow through of almost $1,000. The last thing we wanted to see was a bull break to 20,200 and then a drop back down to the mid 19,000s. And it was the 1-minute EMA 12 that gave us confidence. Look at what happened after the break. There's your break. And right here, we're saying, no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. There's EMA 12. All right, we're safe. We're good. 5-minute, little tightening range, bull break for continuation. That right there means everything. Increasing bear volume and a move back down, losing that EMA, red flag. Significant pullback, 2% drop right back to 20,000, but it was just a back test and hold of previous resistance, now support, and then follow through. So lots of time frames for the bulls. Not surprising that the Bitcoin dominance chart broke bullish as well. We're about to see 5-minute oversold. Let's see if we'll watch that bounce play out together. I got to make an entry. All right, I've got a couple orders set to scale in all the way down to 20,300 in case things get ugly. Daily dominance chart. We had our bull break and it's just been a slow grind up. We can assume that whenever we're hitting an all-time high, the Bitcoin dominance chart is going to go up because everybody's watching Bitcoin and that's where the attention is. Still watching 67.46 because it's possible we form a lower high compared to that level and see this tightening weekly time frame tighten up. And essentially, if you've been trading the cryptocurrency space long enough, you know that the pattern is bull break in Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominance chart goes up, and then the ideal environment for the altcoin bulls to play laggard catch up is sideways consolidation. So if Bitcoin can top out eventually and then just go sideways within a few $100 range for 24, 48 hours, that's when we look for profits from Bitcoin to trickle into the altcoins. And of course, we're going to always be watching the individual coins that we're interested in and their Bitcoin pairings because they have to be in uptrends if we're going to say they either have to be in uptrends or looking at oversold bounces for us to say that our money is better worthwhile spent in those altcoins if we're thinking short-term trading. So ETH/USD right now in my swing position, which again is not a full position, but my Bitcoin exposure versus my ETH exposure, it's probably 400% higher in Bitcoin. And that will change eventually, but not yet. ETH/USD, 636 key resistance up here. And we haven't broken out yet as far as the weekly bull flag confirming into continuation. And the ETH BTC chart currently is holding 29.05. So we got our high, low, lower high, and that level can still hold. And that the bulls really want to hold that level. And that would lead to perhaps attention going to ETH once it does break its resistance level and get some follow through over 636. So keeping an eye on the Bitcoin pairings, and I will level out. So right now, heavy Bitcoin, lighter ETH, I will level those out if this dominance chart gives me a reason to. A weekly high or low is not a good enough reason for me to. It could definitely be a good enough reason for a more active trader. Again, I have a swing term mindset. A little bit longer term. I'm not trading as actively as I was in 2017 in the crypto space. Fees and opportunity elsewhere, the reason. But if I'm an aggressive bull, I am scouting this weekly high or low for the ETH/BTC pairing. And I am watching for that shift from focus in BTC to focus in ETH. There are some coins that are breaking bullish. Theta USDT just hit an all-time high. So those are the names that we can be focusing on while Bitcoin's going up. So again, if I'm seeing Bitcoin break to all-time highs, the only altcoins that I want to be in are names that are breaking to all-time highs as well if I want to maximize the profit. All these other coins that are weaker compared to Bitcoin, again, their US dollar pairings are going up. Right now, LTC USD is going up, but it's just not going up as fast as Bitcoin. So Theta USDT, we're doing the same zoom out game. We're scouting an hourly high or low. We can see the hourly consolidation already has a little bit of a head start. EMA 12 support is catching up, and we would have to lose the hourly uptrend to zoom out and look for a 4-hour high or low. And again, just to double check, Theta BTC on the daily time frame, not breaking bullish, but going up the last 4 days. So that tells me that even though Bitcoin's been going up the last 4 days, Theta has been going up faster. Sushi USDT, also a bull break to a higher high. Same thing, we've got an hourly higher low that we're watching for. And then we would watch for a 4-hour higher low. We actually came right down to support 251, held it by a couple pennies, straight into a higher high. And again, Sushi BTC, that bounce rate, actually go to the daily time frame. Again, the last 4 days. Bitcoin's been going up the last 4 days. And if your Bitcoin pairing chart is going up the last 4 days as well, you know your coin is exceeding the strength of Bitcoin. LTC BTC, worth watching. A shout out here just because of this tightening range. It's nice and clear. Double bottom, anything under 482 keeps us in this tightening range, but it's worth watching over the next few weeks for this tightening range to give us a break, knowing that it has to break bullish if we're going to see an attempt at a weekly trend change. We have not seen a weekly higher low and higher high yet in this bullish environment over the last few months. And that is a must for the bulls. If Litecoin bulls are going to gain any attention, that has to happen. Because without it, it's just a short squeeze with no follow through. So just to summarize one more time, what we are looking for the altcoins to really gain some attention, there's definitely going to be some small bounces and some small catching up here and there, but a setup where we look for an equilibrium to be the most likely scenario on a longer term time frame. So let's just say Bitcoin were to top out right now. There's not nearly enough indication for that to be the case, but let's say we topped out, pulled back to 20,000. We would then be watching for the potential of a 4-hour equilibrium, and that equilibrium being on the 4-hour time frame could take 24 plus hours. And during those 24 hours, we would look for the Bitcoin profits to find their way to altcoins. So that's what we're going to be watching in the short term. But for now, we're just watching for an hourly high or low. And we haven't even hit 5-minute oversold yet. Maybe if we get another leg down, it'll be approaching. And I do believe there will be bulls to buy that first 5-minute oversold dip. So congrats again. Don't celebrate too hard. You can celebrate. You can celebrate hard. Have a good day.
Now, a lot of people have confused it for gold. They think it's digital gold. As I've said, it's just simply fool's gold. I mean, it's not going to 12,000. I mean, it briefly got up to 14,000 earlier this year. As we're recording, it's barely holding on to 7,000. So I just think that we're in a bear market. Bitcoin topped out about 2 years ago, in fact, a little over 2 years ago. So the price of Bitcoin has been falling for the past 2 years, and I expect that to continue.
Suppose you could make a lot of money trading freshly harvested baby brains. Would you do it, or would you say that's immoral? You wouldn't trade them, would you? It's too awful a concept. Well, to me, Bitcoin is almost as bad.
Bitcoin is a bubble, okay? Bitcoin is a bubble.
And now it has crashed by about 60% compared to the peak of mid-December. It's crashed 30% in the last week and 10% today. And it's all the way down to zero. The fundamental value of Bitcoin is zero.
The chart guys. Technical analysis. No FUD, no FOMO. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. All-time high.
Lift off.
Trade like a robot. Higher low, lower high. Are we in a bubble?
Bitcoin is a bubble.
The bulls versus the bears. Stick to the chart. All-time high.